In November 2024, Justin Welby resigned as Archbishop of Canterbury after the Makin review was critical of how he handled allegations of abusive behaviour by John Smyth. This triggered the process to find a successor, as well as speculation by both Christian and secular media as to who could be chosen. So in this video, we will take a look at 3 individuals who have been touted as possible candidates and how likely each is to be appointed. Before the video continues, do not forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the latest content. First, some background information as to how the situation came about. A few days prior to Justin Welby's announcement that he would resign, a long-awaited independent review by former social care worker executive Keith Makin was published by the Church of England. This review sought to analyse how the Church of England handled allegations of abusive behaviour by John Smyth, a former barrister whom it was associated with and who was previously chairman for the trust that raised funds for the Ewan Bible camps. In the executive summary of his findings, Makin states that despite considerable efforts by individuals to bring to the attention of relevant authorities the scope and horror of Smyth's conduct, the steps taken by the Church of England and other organisations and individuals were ineffective and neither fully exposed nor prevented further abuse by him. One such individual included in this criticism was Welby, with Makin's review stating that he became aware of the abuse alleged against John Smyth in around August 2013 in his capacity as Archbishop of Canterbury. However, there was an absence of follow-up. The conclusion that must be reached, it goes on to say, is that John Smyth should have been reported to the police in 2013, which probably would have led to him being brought to justice. You can access the review in full via the link in the description. There you will also find the previous explainer video, which looks at a separate independent review into Soul Survivor and Mike Pilavachi. Initially, after the review was published, Welby resisted calls for him to resign as Archbishop of Canterbury. However, after public pressure grew and resignation calls began to come from other senior clergy, including Helen Ann Hartley, the Bishop of Newcastle, he reversed his stance and released a statement confirming he would be stepping down. This triggered the process to select a successor to Welby, where a Crown Nominations Commission with 20 members, including representatives from General Synod and from across the Anglican Communion, deliberate over several months before nominating a candidate. This nomination is then, due to the Church of England's status as an established church, submitted by the Prime Minister to the monarch, who gives the final approval. The process, as of the timing of the publication of this video, is in its earliest stages, so no official indications as to who is in the running have been made. However, this has not prevented both Christian and secular media from speculating as to who the Commission could recommend to succeed Welby. Numerous names have been suggested, however 3 individuals and the plausibility of their selection will be presented in this video. The first individual is Graham Ussher. Ussher previously served as the Bishop of Dudley from 2013 until his appointment to his current position, Bishop of Norwich, in 2019. Prior to joining the Church of England episcopate, Ussher had previously sat on forestry committees and national park authorities and published a book on how experiencing God in the natural world can help Christians in their spiritual walk, titled Place of Enchantment. This focus on environmental causes he has been able to continue in office, with his appointment as lead bishop for the environment in 2021. Concerning this role, Ussher has stated that his 3 priorities are to develop plans to get Church of England buildings to net zero carbon, enhance biodiversity on all church-owned land, and to see the evangelistic opportunity of working with people around environmental issues. Ussher has appeared on the vast majority of lists generated by both Christian and secular publications of potential candidates to replace Welby. If selected by the Commission, he would necessarily have to resign from his additional role as Lord High Almoner, a role responsible for giving alms from royal households to the poor, a post he took up only 1 day after Welby announced his resignation. The second individual is Gooley Francis de Carney. Becoming the Bishop of Chelmsford in 2021, Francis de Carney had previously been a religious programming producer for the BBC before serving as the first Bishop of Loughborough, an appointment which made her the Church of England's first female bishop from a minority ethnicity. She also currently holds 2 vice-presidential positions, one with the Church Army, an evangelistic poverty outreach organisation, and the other with the Conference of European Churches, an ecumenical fellowship of churches of various traditions across Europe. She is the Church of England's lead Bishop of Housing, with a recent contribution in this role being the launch of the Homes for All campaign, which emphasises a need for a long-term strategy towards solving the housing crisis. Frances Decani has also published books, including Cried for a Lost Homeland, in which she draws upon her experiences fleeing Iran with her family in the wake of the Iranian Revolution in 1979 and her brother's murder at the hands of Iranian government agents. If selected to succeed Welby, she would become the first female Archbishop of Canterbury in the history of the Church of England. Like Graham Usher, she is featured on most lists made by media outlets, but she has also been perceived by some to be the frontrunner. Julian Mann, an evangelical journalist and former Church of England vicar, writing for Anglican Mainstream in January 2025, stated that I would suggest the Bishop of Chelmsford is the most able candidate in the current House of Bishops in terms of intellect and eloquence. A potential obstacle for her appointment may be that commission representatives from other regions may not support her due to their adherence to the traditional Anglican recognition that the New Testament teaches that ecclesiastical positions are uniquely given to qualified men alone. The third and final individual is Paul Williams. Williams served a decade as rector of St James Gerard's Cross in South Buckinghamshire, then was ordained as the Bishop of Kensington in 2009, before taking up his current position as the Bishop of Southwell and Nottingham in 2015. In contrast to both Usher and Frances Decani, Williams belongs to the minority of bishops to oppose the introduction of blessings for same-sex couples in the Church of England, a proposal deriving from the House of Bishops' reflections on responses to the Living in Love and Faith resources. You can find out how this proposal is affecting the HTB network of churches by watching this video, the link to which is in the description. At the General Synod meeting following the proposal in February 2023, Williams was one of just 4 bishops to vote against their introduction, and following the Synod's approval of standalone services using said blessings in December 2023, he stated in a letter written to his clergy he simply could not advise them to use prayers that indicate a departure from the clear teaching of the Church of England on marriage and relationships. Williams features on less lists of potential successors to Welby, so is presently perceived as unlikely to be appointed by the Commission. However, it should be noted that Justin Welby was deemed an outsider by numerous publications when he was appointed to be Archbishop of Canterbury in 2013, having only been the Bishop of Durham for just over a year. As mentioned earlier, the candidacy of these individuals is speculative and shall remain so until the deliberations of the Crown Nominations Commission progresses and we get indications as to who will become the 106th Archbishop of Canterbury. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to like and comment on the video, and to stay up to date with Evangelical Analysis, be sure to subscribe.